When looking at the pre-debut lore of the Luniverse, Yeojin has sort of an ambiguous place. She is in a subunit that consists solely of herself. People often group her with 1/3, as it is said she represents the slash, or with odd eye circle to make 3 even groups of 4. YY by Y is seldom mentioned in relation to Yeojin, but I want to call this into question. The canon lore for Yeojin only states that she wandered off and got lost in the forest. This is thought to be a lore explanation for why she didn't participate in Luna 1/3's activities, but this actually opens a significant chapter of the Luniverse. The Kiss Later music video is full of symbols of the other Luna girls. We'll examine these first. Immediately we can see a gift from the carol and the rose which represents the apple in Love Forever. The focus on her shoes here parallels the focus on YY by Y's shoes that are a symbol of their rebellion from Eden. The chandelier hanging over her head is a reference to godwon and One and Only, where it represents a crown and enlightenment. This is the second time she's woken up in the video so far. This is important to remember for later. Here is the vintage TV from Love Cherry Motion. In Every Day I Love You, Vivi has a collection of manhwas that resemble this style. Here, the frog brings roses, again a symbol of the apple in Love Forever. The frog springing into the scene upside down is a symbol of Cherry. In this scene, though, there is another significant symbol that may be overlooked. The city skyline, especially when viewed from a neighboring rooftop, is often used as a symbol to represent Earth, as we can see in music videos such as I'll Be There, Sonatine, and Egoist. Here, the skyline is distorted into a cartoon and is outside the window. It could indicate a separation from Earth.
주인공 같진 않아도 마냥 어린애처럼 가볍지도 않죠. 여자는 있지 자꾸자꾸만 확인하고 싶단 말야.
This gesture is similar to the odd eye circle greeting. This scene is an exact parallel to One and Only when godwon is being chased through the mansion by Eve and Chu. The small kitchen setting can be related to the house from Around You. There are also strawberries on the table, Chu's representative fruit. The stove is turned on to an open flame. Fire is a symbol of Olivia Hay. The sink is full of water and overflowing. The flowing water, along with the goldfish in the bowl, are symbols of Jinsol. The stickers on the fridge also reference 1/3, since their concept is locations. Some of the stickers even reference specific filming locations like London, where the carol was filmed. Here, the small circular mirror is a familiar symbol for Cherry. We'll start with Yeojin waking up. This symbol gains its meaning after the release of Every Day I Love You. In the beginning of Every Day I Love You, Vivi dozes off, and at the end, she wakes up. Then later with New, we find out that the dream Vivi has of roller skating with a boy and all her friends actually took place with Eve in Eden. We can tell that these events actually happened and weren't just a dream because of the text Vivi receives from the boy after she wakes up. 내일 또 올게. I'll be back tomorrow. Instead, we can conclude that if a girl from Earth travels to Eden, she perceives it in a distorted, dreamlike way instead of objectively observing it. The Kiss Later music video, while less obvious, has many elements that could suggest she is in a dream. We see her waking up multiple times throughout the video. Things also move around and are inconsistent between different shots, and there are fantastical elements that would fit into the narrative of a dream of a young girl. Yeojin has dreamt herself to be a princess. Her story is supposed to be that she kisses the frog to turn him into a prince, but she doesn't want to. Instead, she enjoys herself within the dream, imagining herself being pampered and showered with gifts by various princes. The forest that Yeojin famously gets lost in is the forest in Eden that was seen in Love Forever. This forest is where Eve gains her knowledge of the rest of Luna. Because Yeojin is a girl from Earth who ended up in Eden, her perception of the events and the knowledge she gains from the forest ends up incorporated into the narrative of her princess fantasy, just like how Vivi interprets her time in Eden as a roller skating date. Between Every Day I Love You and New, we find out that the boy Vivi skates with is actually Eve. Yeojin has one main antagonist in her dream, the Frog Prince, who I believe is also representative of Eve. Kiss Later is an amalgamation of symbols of the other Luna girls. This is Yeojin gaining the knowledge the Forest of Eden has to offer in an obscured way. Because of her wandering into Eden, Yeojin is also assigned a fruit of her own, an orange. Oranges can be seen many times throughout the music video. There are two paintings featuring an orange on a table, like the table in One and Only, and a drink labeled Orangin, a pun on her name. This also contextualizes Yeojin's representative color being orange. The beginning of the music video starts exactly like a princess story. She wakes up in a beautiful bed and is presented with gifts by 3 princes. She is subliminally receiving information about the other girls here, like the gift from the carol. But then in walks the Frog Prince, who startles her into waking up once again in a more humble rooftop apartment. Eve, the Frog Prince, is motivated to chase after Yeojin due to her newfound knowledge of Luna. If this occurs before any of the members decide to leave Eden, Eve has just gained this knowledge. And as she explores, a part of the mysterious world she's discovering appears right in front of her. But when Yeojin meets Eve the Frog, she is startled, enough to shift her dream to a different setting. The plot of the music video is about the chase between Yeojin and Eve. Yeojin dances playfully through the Garden of Eden while Eve stubbornly keeps after her. All the while, Yeojin is being fed information about the other Luna girls by the environment around her. She is having fun playing in her little Eden apartment, but once her time there is over, she will be equipped with knowledge of Luna, the Mobius loop, and the motivation to break it. The climax of the music video, the moment where Yeojin almost kisses the Frog Prince, is the moment that Eve almost catches her, but Yeojin slips away once again. After this, the two seem closer. They dance together, brush their teeth together, etc., but the chase is still what motivates them. At the end, Yeojin grabs the Frog Prince in the declaration that she's finally ready to kiss him. From Eve's perspective, Yeojin is slowing down and allowing Eve to catch up to her. Right as the moment is about to arrive, Yeojin backs away and sticks out her candy tongue in disgust. We know that Eve eventually catches Yeojin due to her winning the frog in her claw machine, but I like to think that the ending of Kiss Later shows that Eve and Yeojin developed a friendship during their time in Eden together. They don't have much lore development together outside of this, as in the grand scheme of things this can be considered a smaller branch of the story, but the two do get a small moment in the choreography for Hi Hi. And as this choreography tells the story of the Luniverse, it is a cute and simple detail that shows Princess Yeojin remains close with her frog prince Eve once Luna is united.